Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video review. I am the Tech Gooch, and this time we're taking a peek at a camera that I've actually been using for about almost a year now. And almost all of my reviews that I shot up to this point were shot with this camcorder, at least up for the last year, since about June of last year. And that is the Sony FDR-AX33 camcorder. So I went from CX550, 550V, which was an HD camcorder, upgraded last year to the 4K AX33 from Sony because I wanted to get everything into 4K. So up into a higher format. Obviously I can crop better if I need to. But more than anything else, I wanted it to be portable, which in this case, this is a portable 4K camcorder. Really nice manual pieces to it where you can actually set the manual zoom, manual focus, manual everything with this little manual button here, and then this adjustable ring. You can change your white balance, things like that. Has the flip out touch screen on it. Takes either the standard SD cards or even Sony's cards as well. I prefer SD, but in order to shoot in 4K 100 megabits per second XVAC, you have to use a 64 gig or larger U3 card, which basically comes out about 95 megabits per second. If you're looking at the Extreme Pro cards for SanDisk, Sony offers cards, and as well as Samsung and other brands as well. But that's what you will need to have in order to do the full 100 megabit 4K video with this camcorder. It does have a nice Zeiss lens on it, has 5.1 capability with audio. However, when you're shooting in 4K, it will only be stereo audio. You will not get surround sound. Has a microphone input as well as a headphone out. So everything that you're used to having in an actual video machine. Standard zoom. This one has, I think, a 10 times zoom on it. The newer version, they have a AX53, which has a 20 times zoom on it. The camcorder itself, like I said, I've used for about a year. This is what it basically comes with out of the box. Comes with a Infinilithium V FV70 battery, as well as a standard home powering kit. Now you can actually power the camera on this, or actually just charge the battery while the battery is on the camcorder itself, and works great. I never used this one day. The day I bought the camcorder, I bought #1 accessory, which I think is the most important accessory, and that is the TRV, their external battery charger. You basically just pop that battery in and plug it into the wall. I also bought a extra battery immediately. So I have two FV70 Sony branded batteries. I definitely prefer the branded batteries. They definitely last a lot longer, but also they hold a charge even when you're not using them longer. That was the biggest accessory I could think you can get with any video camera, no matter what. So that's what I have. It does also have a accessory mount on top. So the standard shoe mount, which you can get a external microphone, you can get an external video light. It does do night mode, so their night shot mode. There's a button here for night shot, and you can get a larger infrared light for it, so you can see a lot further and a lot better. I was always going to think about doing that, but I never shoot in night shot, even though it was always a thing that I almost had to have in all of my camcorders from Sony. Night shot was something that I had to have, but this time I only used it maybe once or twice with this, just to try it out. Otherwise, I haven't really used it. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, is the viewfinder. You do have a viewfinder. You don't have to use the screen on this camcorder, which I think is a must-have for camcorder use, in my opinion. But in all reality, the reason that you buy this specific camcorder isn't because so much, it is because it's compact. It is because of all the features. And I'm sorry, it's 15 times zoom, not 10 times. I messed that up. It's because of the optical stabilization. The optical image stabilization in this is second to none, because it has this free-floating eyeball type lens built into it, which I'll show here. I'm going to get a little bit closer and I'm going to show you that here in a second, which is amazing. Every other camcorder that says it has image stabilization does not have what this and its brother cameras have, because it's amazing at what it can do and how well it can stabilize your image. So if you're shooting by hand, that's when I would look at these camcorders. Any of the ones that have their active image stabilization from Sony. It is quite amazing, that steady shot. So I think right now I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera and actually show you what it looks like. So here it is. You can see how the lens is definitely floating in there. So I'm trying to make it look as floating as it can. You know, you can change how much it floats. If you have it in active mode, it floats the most. You can put it in tripod mode, which actually turns it off. But that is amazing how much it does. Now, if you're on a tripod and you're trying to pan, it'll be kind of this on a ship pan. So that's why you want to turn it off if you're going to do it on a tripod. But I call it the arthritis grip. You know, if you're shaking. It's amazing how clear the video can actually come out. If I turn it around, I wonder if I can demonstrate that. Yeah, it's hard to demonstrate video within video, but it's pretty amazing. And it turns off and turns on immediately. One of the other really nice things that I loved about this camcorder is when I turned it off and throw it in a bag, it was quick and easy to shut the lens. It's pretty cool. So that was one of my favorite features, is the steady shot capability of this camcorder. If I'm looking at a camera that I'm doing by hand, I'm definitely going to consider this highly. Now, I want to get into its shortfalls. And the shortfalls, and one of the main reasons I'm shooting with the camera I am now, is in lower light situations, the small micro 2/3 sensor that this has doesn't cut it. Its low light capability is lacking. It can shoot there, but it's either very undetail rich or very grainy. If you've watched my videos over the last year, that's the one problem that I personally have. Now, I've never had anybody actually comment on it, that I know of at least. Maybe there is a comment out there. But I'm not the biggest fan of the graininess being inside here, especially on a day, like today it's sunny, but on a day where it's cloudy outside and I'm shooting in my living room here, the graininess of the video really irritated me. And that's why I'm not shooting with it anymore. If you're outdoors during the daylight on a vacation, fantastic camera. Especially if you're in, like, I used it at Disney World. Great, because you're handheld, you know, you're doing everything by hand, you're shooting, you're trying to zoom in as best you can. Fantastic. I did a lot of stuff for my daughters in dance and stuff like that. Pretty good, because they have big spotlights and it's really bright and you have to actually turn the white balance down on this. Does really good in that situation. But if you're shooting a lot of indoor, lower light, at night shots, you're going to get a lot of graininess with the smaller sensor that this has. If you want to do that, go to the next series up, the 1-inch sensor. You're going to like that a lot more, in my opinion, at least. But other than that, when I bought it was $1,000. Now I think it's down $800 is what this one's going for. At $800, I dare you to try to find a better camera all around handheld shooting camera than this, because of what it can do and how well it can do it. It takes pretty good stills even. It is a 20.6 megapixel sensor for stills, and I can honestly say that it actually shoots pretty good stills, specifically when you're in the photo mode, not shooting video. It takes really good stills. So that I bought it as kind of mainly video, also stills camera, and I have a hard time not using it anymore because. But the fact of the matter is the camera I'm using now is better for what I'm doing here. So that's what it comes down to, trying to get the best quality video I can for my viewers, and change of cameras is one of them. I didn't even point this out earlier, but I did want to point it out real quick for the USB lovers out there. This is where the USB port, just like all the Sony camcorders and most out there, you plug it directly into the computer from there. I never used it. I always just pulled the memory card out and slid it into my computer. So that's how I do it. One last little thing before I let you go, and that is one of my other lovely accessories that I highly recommend, and that is Sony's dual charger. You can actually charge 2 batteries. Essentially what it does is it charges one, and then it goes and starts charging the second one as soon as the first one's done. Pretty awesome accessory, if I do say so myself. I loved it. I never used it. You can also power the camera with it as well. I never used that function, but pretty awesome accessory. And yeah. But that's the Sony AX33. I wanted to get a video out there before I don't have it anymore, because I am selling it to help pay for the one I already purchased. But that is it. I mean, it's a pretty awesome camera. Like I said, if you're handheld shooting, look at this guy, test it out, go to your local Best Buy, put it in your hand, try it out. The AX33, the AX53 is the newer model, has a few extra goodies. I think the 53 is about $1,000 now as well. And you know, if you want that small handheld factor, I mean, it fits in the hand really well, similar to my older Sony camcorder. Now, of course, it's a bigger camera than some of those really small ones, but quality of video is going to be better. Obviously, 4K, and yeah. And of course, accessories like the viewfinder and the shoe and all the extra little goodies. So check that out. If you have any other questions or comments, post those below. I'm kind of sorry to see it go, but I'm hoping that this new camera, and the camera I have now is a mirrorless Sony camera, the new A6300. So if you like the video that I'm shooting now in comparison to what I used to shoot, that is exactly what is being used. So check it out. If you have any other questions or comments, post those below, like I said. Subscribe to the channel. Check us over on Facebook, Facebook/techgooch. Basically, we're techgooch anywhere other than thetechgooch.com. Couldn't get techgooch, so. Otherwise, thanks for checking us out, and we will see you next time.